Peanuts are looking beautiful. They're growing nice and tall and wide. Gotten flowers all over the place. Another couple of them growing right there. That means they're gonna start producing fruit here in a little bit. You love to see it. You love seeing peanuts starting to shoot off and starting to grow. We just barely recently fertilized this field, so you better believe they're taking off now. Welcome back to another video. We got a little bit of a project on our hands today. Well, this right here is our big old project. This was supposed to be a 30-minute fix. Underground short. We're supposed to just splice the wire and be done and over with it. But no, wire had other plans. It burnt off right here and it fried everything all the way there where that shovel is. That wire's just completely gone. Heated up our underground water line, as you can tell. Got water spraying out right there and one more spot next to it. And the pipe is also melted pretty good all the way down there and by the shovel. So we now got to replace the wire and this pipe. Oh, yeah, don't you just love to see it? And that's a small wire and a small water line too. I'm assuming that's 4-inch because I don't think, yeah, I believe that's 4-inch. We should have some more of that pipe. Are you sure that's 3-inch? It almost looks like 4-inch.
That's 3-inch.
Well, I know we have some 4-inch in the barn. I don't know if we have any 3-inch. If we don't have any 3-inch, we'll have to definitely go get some. We were actually watering this field of peanuts right here, and now we had to turn off the water to where we can actually fix this water line right here. That wire down there, I know that's a very terrible wire. It's a cheap wire from Mexico, I believe. We tried to save some money way back in the day. This was many years ago, and it was just a cheap wire. It was made in Mexico, I believe. We ended up using that. Never again. We do not like that wire. That is one of the worst wires to ever use. We hate it. We think we regret ever putting it in. So we're stuck now, reaping our problems, I guess. All the wire is just getting destroyed. And got it nice cleaned up around the pipe right there, so we're gonna chop it off with the Sawzall right here. We'll get the water drained up out of here. I dug a little bit deeper here on purpose just so that way the water did have somewhere to go, and if we do need to grab our nursing tank or a pump, whatever you want to call it, to pump it out of there, then we are able to do that. Cut her off.
Anything right there?
Get ready to run because you're gonna get wet, especially yeah right there. Cut her off. Oh, never mind. You don't have to run.
I can't run.
Oh, that's true. No one in your family runs.
Yeah.
Nice. We'll let that drain there. Actually, you want to cut off, like, let's say like another couple inches, just that way the water will drain faster. I'll do it on the other side because this is that side's still good, a good pipe. This is the bad pipe. Yeah, let's cut some more off. We actually started digging this hole open before lunch, and when we turned off the wells for this pivot way down yonder in that draw over there, my brother, he was thinking ahead, and I'm glad he did. Stuck a screwdriver in one of the air vents, started draining water down there, so by the time we came back, there's a lot less water in here than if you were to have not stuck a screwdriver in that air vent. So this, how much water there's coming out of there, that should not take too long to drain, and we'll be able to get this all fixed and cover the hole. While I was at it, chopped it off on this side. I guess while we let this go drain, we'll go get ourselves some parts. Well, we don't have any 3-inch pipe, so to town we go to go get some parts. Plus, we're also going to need the dresser and also something to connect it on the other side, potentially a collar, or unless if they have the 3-inch pipe with the flared end on the end that has a gasket where we can just slide it on one end, dresser on the other, slap it together and call it good. Oh, look at that, the first time I ever used this function of my tailgate. Well, they did end up having the one with the collar at the end. It just doesn't have one with the gasket in there, so we do need some glue and some primer, and I do believe we have some of that here in our barn. Yeah, I see a big jug. We definitely will not need that much, but we definitely have enough. Yeah, they're still like half full, so we'll take both of this with, and we got that underground dresser that we're also gonna attach to the other side of it. Right there, we do also have the wire. We need about 10 feet of it, so we'll head to the job site and get to work. Well, it's definitely done draining on both sides, and it's not as much water in there as what I thought, so we're not going to drain it out. I will just use the bucket of the backhoe, and since this end is deeper, I'll just back up to this side and I'll start scooping out some water. Meanwhile, I'll let him start cleaning up the pipes and potentially even start gluing them together. Yeah, I think that's good enough right there. A little bit of mud never hurt anybody. Yeah, he actually had to put on his rain suit because he's all the way in that end, holding it that side. Primed, about to prime this side. We'll glue them together. Working with influencers is tough, huh?
Yeah.
Yep, good on this side. Let's close you back up so you don't dry on us. We'll get you out of here, and then I'll go, since he's in the hole kind of stuck over there, and I can actually still get out if I get a running start. Ugh. Made it. We good. Impact. Wrench. Dressers. Yeah, I got it all in my hand right here. Let's not drop those. There we go. What did I just say?
Let's not drop those.
And what did you do?
I dropped it actually.
Do you not know how to listen?
Did
you lose it now?
Hang on.
You better find it. I told you not to drop it, and here you go dropping it. You better find it.
Hang on.
You take off your glove. I don't know what you're doing with your glove in there. In that muddy mud pool over there. Goodness. You found it?
I did.
Good. So there. The way these dressers work, there's just a rubber gasket on each side. Bolt it together. Just squeeze it together, and it shouldn't go anywhere. Pipe is done. Now just for the wire. As you can see, it melted completely off of there. Sheet toast. We'll definitely chop it off away right here and then get this outer shell off there. That's one reason why I hate it, because it has an outer shell and then there's the 4 wires on the inside. Never been a big fan of it. I'm glad we don't put this wire in anymore. So we put in the better stuff. So we'll chop it off little ways. We have tons extra on the back of the truck, so I'll start getting him tools. Don't need that wire. I need this one. It already has all 4 wires. Found this one laying around in the barn. It's a good idea to keep it. So now we do actually, scraps are useful eventually. And we keep all of our short parts. Anytime we have underground wire or underground shorts or anything, we keep it all in this box. There's not a utility knife, but there's this one that we always use. Don't know where it came from, but we love this knife. I'll let him take that one. He is gonna need one of these. And that should get him going on this side, and then I'll start working with the wire on that side. Don't drop these in the water. One at a time. Oh,
hold on.
You were not ready. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
One at a time. Here's this knife that is not sharp at all, that's dull, but somehow it still cuts like the best knife in the world.
Somehow it does, yeah.
Milwaukee for the win. Trim all these wires. Putting the splices on there. Smaller one for the ground. I'm just gonna make sure that this size right here can actually fit on his side over here. Not all grounds are the same. Hey, on your ground right there, can you make sure this guy fits on your end? The green? No?
Nope, it's not.
All right, well then that wire has them all the same size. So that means I can not use the one smaller size like I wanted to. Gotta use the red ones on all of them. It's still gonna hold it, just not preferred, I guess. Yeah, that ain't going anywhere. Well, now we're actually double checking things. So the ground is usually always a smaller one, and that's the case on here. And I checked that panel box. There's 4 wires in there. There's red, black, yellow, and then green. So green is the ground. Over here, when he's undoing this over here, there's no black. There's the red, yellow, green, and blue, and the blue's the smaller one. So I don't know what went on, but blue's a smaller one, so I'm assuming that's the ground. And electricity goes from the well right behind me. It comes from over there. So I'm gonna walk over here real quick. I'm gonna check to see what kind of wires we have in there. We don't want to wire this up wrong, because I don't really want to dig this open a second time. So I'm gonna check to see what we have in here. All right, yep, look in there. Blue is the ground, and there shouldn't be any, obviously there's no electricity here now because we're working with it. I turned off the disconnect over there, don't worry. But yeah, blue is the ground over here, and green is one of the hot. So somewhere, I guess from where we are digging, somewhere from that point further, I guess we spliced it, maybe added on another section. I don't know why, but I'm glad we double checked that before we made a huge mistake. So for this instance, I've already put a bigger splice on there, so it'll be fine for this side. Just the other side, since the ground is smaller, we'll use the smaller splice on that side. I'll just quickly make myself some heat shrings. I'm just gonna cut them to the right length that I think we need. Let's say about right there. What I always do, this knife works so great, fold it in half, and one quick swoop, doesn't leave any edges whatsoever, and it shrinks perfectly. Just gonna measure that one. We're gonna need to make lots of those, 8 of them. It's a lot of heat shrink for just for one issue. Well, that's unfortunate. Might as well just use the whole thing. Well, I don't feel like having that much. That's a little bit of waste. It sucks, it hurts a little bit, but I guess nothing you can do about it. I don't want to have that much. Do I want to have that much extra heat shrink? I don't know. That's a lot. I don't feel like having that much extra heat shrink. No thanks. Only a little bit gets to waste. Sadly, hurts, but I guess it is what it is. And I think I might, since there was 2 of them that were slightly shorter, we'll use the shorter ones on the ground, and then the longer ones on the other 3. Got a smaller one this time for the ground wire. That good?
Yeah.
There you go. This side's done, that side's done, the pipe's on there. We're ready to crank up the water. But it's already getting late and we need to move. We got some other stuff to do, so we're gonna turn this pivot on first thing tomorrow morning and start watering the peanuts again. Oh, look at that. Let's not get bit today, huh? That was nice. We're gonna clean everything up for now, and we're gonna not cover this hole till tomorrow, because just in case if there is all of a sudden an issue with what we did, I'd rather be able to see it and not have to dig it open again. So we'll finish this tomorrow. We've got a couple of other things to do today. I'll see y'all tomorrow. All right, welcome back to the next day. Let's go turn that pivot on and see if we got any water leaks. There's quite a handful of these irrigation wells around the farm, so just use an ATV, use a four-wheeler to drive around all of them, turn every single one of them on, and the water's all led to the pivot. So once the pivot's up and running, we'll make sure all the nozzles are open, and then if everything's good there in that hole that we fixed yesterday, we'll cover it up and go turn on another pivot yet today. Heading over here to this panel box that we turned off yesterday, because to fix that short we didn't want electricity. And, we should have power now, so I'm going to turn on the wells that we fixed yesterday. Which this one right here is one of them that gets powered. I'll turn that one on, and then this one over here, I actually got to make sure that it's going to be running right, because we did splice it in there and the wires were different. So as far as L1, 2, and 3, those 3 wires up there, they could technically be wired a little bit differently, so the motor could technically be running on reverse. So I'm just going to test for the amps that it's pulling, make sure that it's pulling the right amps and that the motor is running the right way. And if not, then I gotta switch 3 of my wires down there. Yeah, I was not making enough pressure, so I'm assuming the wires are, it's backwards. So I'm gonna switch 2 wires down here where there's no volts, swap the yellow and red, and then we should be good to go. Oh yeah, now it creates plenty of back pressure, especially if I close this valve. Oh yeah, now we're pumping good. Now she's actually working. I'm gonna check the hole here. I think we're good. There's already quite a bit of water in here from earlier, because I have been turning on lots of wells in the area and haven't spotted a single leak yet, so I think I'm gonna start covering up this hole. Good as new, like nothing ever happened. And we're irrigating. And I got my rain suit on. Well, technically I guess it's a waders, but call it a rain suit. Got my jacket on too, because we got wobblers on here, and it always sprays like way high, so it's just, you stay a little bit drier this way. There's usually quite a few nozzles that are closed. Like that one, for instance, that is closed. You probably can't tell on camera, but it's not spraying the correct amount. There's probably just a little bit of rust in there. There usually is. So I'm gonna walk along here and open up all the nozzles. She is good to go and she's running. Now just to keep the water on the peanuts till it's time to harvest them. Alright, one more little project before I'll end the video. We had used this toolbar for sand fighting. Got pretty windy, so we were trying to keep the fields from blowing. And we took this whole rotometer, we took it all apart. We took these sweeps off of here and we put different busters on there, just a little duck feet. And now we're putting sweeps back on here. Now we're gonna put this whole rod system back on. There's 3 full sections. We got both wings and then the middle section. It's fairly simple. It just gets a little heavy. And lift them up, put them where they're used to, where there's little markings, and we'll bolt them on, and this should be ready for next year when we want to use it again. That was a bit rough in 100-degree weather, but got everything bolted on. Now for some zip ties, clean up these hoses, and she should be ready for next year. I want to make sure it does not crimp anywhere. Yeah, we're good. Should be fine. That looks good. Yeah, I think that looks good. Well, that's gonna do it for these 2 days of little projects that we needed to get done. There's still one more project that I've put off for a little bit now that I still want to do, that I just haven't found the time to do it. It's not important because we're not using it currently. On our lamp plane right here, that wheel bearing right there, it's out. That's the second one on this lamp plane. I don't know why it's a brand new lamp plane. We only had it for like, this is the 2nd year using it, and right away is two wheel bearings out. The wheel is sitting there, and I have all the bearings at the barn. So just one of these days, whenever I got myself time, then I need to go and just fix that bearing. Just another one of those little things that needs to get done. There's a bunch of little side projects that now, as long as the pivots stay running that are watering, as long as they stay running, we should have some time on our hands to do a couple of side projects. So that's what our goal will be. It's currently 101 degrees outside, so it's definitely heating up here in Texas, but hopefully we catch a couple of good rains and it'll cool everything back down again. Last year the heat was insane and the peanuts were struggling quite a bit, so let's hope they don't have to struggle as much this year. But that's gonna do it for this video. As always, I do appreciate y'all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.